I hear soft footsteps. And now, someone is opening the door.
Yes, go on, Mrs. Kane.
It was Jason Maxwell himself.
Well, what do you want?
I'm looking for Erica. Is she here?
And I don't know where she is.
I don't believe...
All right. Come on in and look for yourself if you want to.
I just stood there, hesitating. Something told me I should go in, even though I didn't want to, and so I did. I walked into Jason Maxwell's hotel suite.
Once inside Mr. Maxwell's suite, Mrs. Kane, what did you do?
I looked around for Erica, but she wasn't there. And then he said something like, "Be my guest." So I took him at his word, and I looked for her in the bedroom and in the bathroom, but she wasn't there.
Then did you leave?
No, He said something nasty like, "My, aren't you the nosy one?" Just like that nosy, two-bit, cheap, conniving daughter of yours. And I said, "What did you say about Erica?" And then he repeated it. He repeated it very clearly.
I said you're just as nosy as your cheap, two-bit, conniving daughter.
Mr. Maxwell, Erica is a very fine young woman who was unfortunate enough to get mixed up with a man like you.
You know, you sound just like her, too.
Well, I knew what you were like from the very first minute that I laid eyes on you. I knew you never meant to marry Erica. I knew you were only going to try to use her. I tried to tell her that, but she wouldn't listen to me, and now she's going to have to pay for it.
Oh, no, Mrs. Kane, that's not what she's going to have to pay for. What she's paying for is being an egotistical, grasping, self-centered little witch, which you must know better than anyone else, since you're the one who helped make her that.
I did.
You must have spoiled her rotten from the day she was born. You never said no to her. You pampered her to the point where she isn't even worth using, as you so grandly put it.
You're even worse than I thought you were. You're just as bad as Margot said.
Margot? Oh, now that's the pot calling the kettle black. She's as big a pain as your precious Erica. And the two of them in one evening is more than I can take, and now you.
The two of them?
Oh, yes. Margot was here a little while ago, too. Threatening me. With a gun. Yes. That's right. Actually threatening me with that gun.
And that's when I saw Margot's gun for the first time, lying on the table.
Did you take a close look at the gun, Mrs. Kane? What kind of gun was it?
No, I didn't take a close look at the gun. I don't like guns. I don't know anything about them. But I did recognize that it was the gun that Margot always carried for protection until I made her put it away in a drawer in my living room.
Dear Margot thought this little gun could frighten me into paying her some money she thinks I owe her. Well, it frightened me so much that I just had to take it right out of her hands and deposit it there. It seems that Margot has a few things to learn yet about the fine art of blackmail by violence. So why don't you just take her little toy home to her and tell her she'd better practice up with it?
I don't want that thing taken away from me.
You just have to give it to Margot.
I don't want to take it. I'm not going to deliver it to her. I'm not your business. You're not taking it away from me.
I'm I'm not going to see her. You are.
I don't want this thing. I told you, take it.
Well, I don't want it either, and I'm not going to see Margot again, just as I'm never going to see your precious Erica Kane Martin again. Did you hear that? I'm never going to see that tramp you call a daughter again. So why don't you just take this gun and get the hell out of here and stay out?
Gentlemen, have you heard enough?
Well, I believe I have. Is there a room where we can talk privately?
You can use my office downstairs if you wish. I'll stay in a few minutes with Mrs. Kane.
Is this agreeable to you, Your Honor? Thank you.
I'd like to ask you your comment first, since obviously the new testimony bears heavily on your prosecution of the case.
Well, I'd like to ascertain once again, Your Honor, if you're going to accept Mona Kane's testimony, obtained as it was under the influence of sodium pentothal. Will you admit that into the court record?
Yes, I shall. I see no reason for doing otherwise. And now for you, Mr. Martin. Do you have any comments?
Well, really, I'd just like to add a corroborating touch that with Mrs. Kane's testimony about the gun going off as she fell, I think that explains at long last the rather low angle of the bullet as it entered Mr. Maxwell's body. Don't you agree, Dick, that that finally does explain the rather strange trajectory of the bullet?
Yes, I have to agree.
Well, in view of all this, Mr. Hamilton, what do you propose is your next step?
Well, I don't see any point in pursuing this case any further. And with your permission, Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a mistrial and drop all charges against young Dr. Martin.
You don't have much choice, do you, Mr. Hamilton?
No, sir, I don't.
In that event, I shall follow your wishes, and I'll see to it that the jury is dismissed and the record's properly informed. Thank you both for your cooperation, gentlemen. You got out of hand there a few times in the courtroom, and I'm sorry I had to reprimand you, but I'm very happy that it ended so amicably. And that justice has been served. And you both deserve credit for the way you prepared your cases and argued them.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, Dick, I assume that just about does it. I mean, you're not going to prosecute Mona Kane, are you?
Well, now, that's for me to decide and you to figure out, isn't it?